All right, I want to start off today with asking you the same question that I have asked almost every single day in our inferencing unit. Why do good readers need to stop and make inferences? Okay, so before I get any answers, I want you to turn and share with your group, okay?
To understand what's really happening.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So why does a good reader need to know how to make an inference?
Because if it doesn't explicitly say it, you might not understand.
You're exactly right. You might not understand. Okay. All right, guys, let's bring it back together. Raise your hand if you want to share why good readers need to know how to stop and make inferences. Sean?
So that we understand what's going on in the story.
Okay, well, do you mean to tell me that if you don't know how to make an inference, you're not going to understand the books you read? Do you agree with Sean?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody have something different or want to add to what Sean said? All right, Emma?
The story's not always going to explicitly tell you what is going on, so you have to infer what's going really on.
You're exactly right. Is the author going to always just come right out and tell you everything you need to know about your characters?
No.
Are they going to come right out and tell you everything you need to know about the setting?
No.
Or the plot?
No.
Okay, but the author is expecting you to make those inferences so that you can understand everything that they're trying to tell you in the text, okay? So, I have some good news. Do you want the good news?
Yes.
All right, well,
No.
there is a big wow. And yesterday I shared our wow for the day, and the wow was that almost everyone was able to make an inference from their reading yesterday. But the wow today is that many students were not only able to make an inference, but able to make a strong inference and also fix their mistakes from the day before. So here were some of the mistakes that we saw from the day before. There were 5 different mistakes that I was seeing in your work. So eyes this way. I saw some kids who were actually not making an inference at all, but just repeating something the author had already told you explicitly. Some kids were making what we like to call a penny inference, not a dollar inference. It was just weak. It wasn't strong. It wasn't that important. Some of you were having some issues with your text evidence or with your prior knowledge, or maybe you were leaving your work incomplete. That was yesterday's kind of pals. But today, look at what we've got. What got removed? Michaela?
Explicit versus inference.
Okay, so that means that we fixed that. There wasn't a single person who actually tried to make an inference on something that the author has already explicitly told us. So give yourself a pat on the back. Okay? Our goal, boys and girls, is to get rid of all of these mistakes by the end of our unit. So we're on a good path because we've already gotten rid of one of them. And the other good piece of news is that I didn't see many mistakes here. I didn't see many mistakes here or kids leaving work incomplete. What I did see for most of us, as far as making mistakes, most of us are either making text evidence or prior knowledge mistakes. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a little mini lesson on text evidence. And then I'm going to pull a group over to talk about prior knowledge during your writing time. So I want to pass back out yesterday's work. And here's how you'll know that it was yesterday's grading. I used a green pen instead of a blue pen. So you need to look. If I gave you a green check, that means yesterday's work was strong inferencing. If I wrote one of these mistakes in green, it means that's what I saw in your work, okay? And I stole some of your answers and I rewrote them in my own handwriting on this new graphic organizer, and I'm going to pass it out and share with you what some of your classmates wrote. I am putting two different examples, but I put it in my own handwriting so you will not know who it came from. And one is from the book Summer of the Swans. One is from the book Sounder. And we're going to look at these inferences that some of our classmates made, and we're going to decide, did they make a strong inference, or would we fix it for them? Okay? So I want you to, all right. I want you to go ahead. I clipped the rubric that I am using to see, are you being successful to this work? So I wrote this exactly the way the kids did. Periods, capital letters, everything. I want you to look at this first inference that was made by a student reading Summer of the Swans, okay? And I want you to just read the inference quietly to yourself. You got it on your own paper. You have it on your own paper, okay? It is right here where it says practice with Miss Cyrus. Yes, you may rip it apart. Up. Okay, I want you to raise your hand if you can tell me what you notice about this inference that one of your classmates made. Because here's the thing. If it is a good inference, anyone, whether they've read the book or not, should be able to understand it. Okay? So that's why we can share them with each other, even if you've not read Summer of the Swans. It should make sense to you, whether you've read the book or not. What do you notice about this inference? Brendan? They only have one piece of text evidence. Who else noticed that? Okay, so I want you to go to the rubric part, and we're gonna score this inference. And I'm actually gonna start at the bottom. Well, I'm gonna start right here, in the middle with text evidence. Does that text evidence support the inference? Yes. Does the prior knowledge support the inference? Yes. Okay. So, did the student make a strong character inference? Yes. Yes. So we are at a 2, 2, 2, and that's where we all want to be. You need to have two pieces of strong evidence that supports your inference to get a 2 here. If you only have one or it doesn't match up, then you're going to be moving down your rubric. If your prior knowledge doesn't make a good case, then we're moving down our rubric, okay?